Welcome to The Secret Truth. Along with me this afternoon is Kris Melligan. My gosh, he's a fabulous publisher, Trine Day publisher. He's had a lot to do over the years with the JFK conferences. Welcome to our program, Kris.
Thank you, George. Good to see you.
Man, how many books do you have out now?
We've got over 100.
Oh my gosh, and you've concentrated sometimes, you've got a few of those are JFK books.
Oh yeah, we've got quite a few JFK books. I mean, JFK is, we're basically, we publish suppressed books, okay? And anything about JFK that says that Lee Harvey Oswald didn't do it is suppressed.
Okay. Well, I mean, and also St. John Hunt.
Yes.
You've had some dealings and some work with him recently, haven't you?
Well, I've known St. John. I'm a musician, and St. John's a musician, and I've known St. John before I started my publishing, okay? And I talked to him one day, and I says, you know, St. John, you're E. Howard Hunt's kid, okay? Your book should be coming out from New York. And he hired a big agent and everything, but nobody would publish it. Okay. And so finally, after a couple years, I says, okay, St. John, let's do it.
Good. Well, I'll tell you what, you started, though, with Anthony Sutton's book,
right.
Did you not?
Yes, yes.
And that really was, that gave an insight, I think, unlike anyone could have ever done starting a publishing business.
Well,
I mean, it kicked it in the, you know what, to get it going, I think.
Well, it was because, you know, my daddy was CIA, and he told me some stuff, and I didn't really understand him until I read Anthony Sutton's book.
Okay.
And I'd become friends with Anthony, finally, and he told me his book was going out of print, and I says, Anthony, we can't have that. And I went out and borrowed $5,000 and started Trine Day, and now I'm more in debt than I ever thought I could be.
But you got more books out there,
yes.
Kris.
Yes.
I just was looked at your table earlier on Friday, and you have quite a few just on that table. You brought quite a few books there.
Yeah, well, it's the name of the game, you know.
Now, how was New Orleans this last time? A lot of fun.
New Orleans was great. I mean, one thing we're trying to do is to get the people of New Orleans to understand that Lee Harvey Oswald was innocent, and he's a native son, and they should take great pride in Lee Harvey Oswald because he was trying to stop the assassination.
Right, there is evidence that he perhaps made a call, to the FBI office in Chicago, trying to thwart that.
Well, he got a message there about a man named Lee. And basically, you know, those things are called shakedown cruises.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because in intelligence you want to find out who's talking to who.
Yes.
Okay, so you do an operation. You know, they're called shakedown cruises.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you know, now what points have been made so far in your own mind that come quickly to your mind about this, either archives or people making new interesting insights or quotes or whatever about this JFK?
Oh, listen, we've got so much documentation already that Lee didn't do it. I mean, a lot of this is just obfuscation and blather. And I'm sure,
fact, wasn't it?
Right, and I'm sure there's some new stuff in this documentation, but you know, you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of pages for people to go through, and basically you can see the spin that the mainstream's trying to put on it. You know, well, hey, maybe the Russians were involved. Oh, Lee did it because, you know, they were going to kill Castro. I mean, you know, they're just giving us more garbage.
About 3 years ago at the Texas Book Festival, they brought in Ainsworth and another fellow, I think Willis maybe, that testified that Lee Harvey Oswald did it alone. As recent as that, I mean, and people were laughing in the audience when they made their presentations.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that.
Well, I mean, the percentages of the American, I think the highest it ever got was 30%.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And it's never been very high at all.
Right. Okay, well, what's later on? You're going to speak now with St. John.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And you're going to be discussing about your own experiences as being CIA.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, St. John's Hunt daddy had to lie to him a whole bunch more than me.
Right.
Because
Well, you were in Washington, at what age were you there?
I was born in D.C.
Right. Okay. And you spent most of your early up through high school.
No, because see, Dad left softly in '57, and then left hard in '59, and we moved to Nashville, and then we moved all out to Oregon. But no, I was in Fairfax up through about first week of third grade.
Oh, okay. But being in that atmosphere and then being around your dad even years later, it imparted a lot of insight, did it not?
Well, basically, he never really talked about it much. First words he told me, he says, they're out to opiate your whole generation.
Really?
Yeah. And then he had a real formal talk with me.
Okay.
And with a professor from Vanderbilt.
Okay.
And he looked at me and he says, the Vietnam War is about drugs. There's these secret societies. And I'm thinking he's talking about the mafia.
Right.
And then he says, these communism's all a sham. These same secret societies are behind it all. It's all a big game.
I see.
At that point in time, I think my daddy's nuts, because I've been ducked under the table because the Ruskies were going to bomb us.
Right.
And then a little light bulb comes on my head, says, "Oh, Dad's having the drug talk with me," because I was growing my hair long and smoking some pot.
Okay.
And he had
smoking a little weed, right?
Yeah. And he hadn't given me the other one because I already had I was married and had a 6-month-old kid.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm straightening up and waiting for my daddy to say, "Stop smoking pot."
Okay.
Okay, but he doesn't. He starts telling me about his intelligence career.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so that's where
quite a surprise, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was very surprising. I knew he had worked for the CIA, but not because my parents had told me, but because I'd had conversations with my older brother and sister.
Oh, okay. And they were a little more knowledgeable at the time that this was going on.
I always figured out that my brother picked it up at Fairfax High School.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And we'd gone overseas and all this type of stuff.
Right.
So that's what I figured.
What's gonna you and St. John? Okay, St. John has done some very interesting work, and he was at the bedside of his dad.
Yeah.
And so there's a bed discussion, and I've interviewed St. John before, and both of you have a lot to say about these hidden societies and the deep state and everything else. What would be some of your concluding remarks this afternoon on? At
the end of the day, it wasn't a CIA operation, it wasn't a mafia operation, it wasn't an FBI operation, it was a secret societal operation. Okay. They're up here above and they're able to put their fingers through all these different things. Okay. And then a big thing on it was Ed Lansdale. For my money, he was a script writer.
Okay. He was there.
And when you do something like this operation was known. This is a big operation. This was known for people that are in this milieu. And one thing you do is you create a lot of mud so that you can get away.
A lot of confusion. You're saying. Yeah. A lot of little rabbit trails that don't lead anywhere.
Right. Well, if you talk to CIA assassins, there was a whole bunch of them there in Dallas that day.
Right,
I mean, if you talk to them, they say we were tripping all over ourselves.
I got you. They were getting in the way of each other.
Right. And a bunch of them didn't have anything to do with it.
I see.
Okay, but
maybe standby or something.
Well, no, you just put them there because then it muddies the water, and then it also puts a hand on their shoulder that says, "Hey, you've been doing wet work for us. You better not talk because we'll say that you were in Dallas then."
I see. I got you.
Okay.
It was ingeniously pulled off, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
They had it well planned, and they slowed down coming around the corner, and they had they violated every Secret Service protocol, according to the writers, So, and they did it right. Well, what are your final suggestions or advice to the?
If you read books,
Right.
Don't believe everything you read.
But buy from Trine Day.
Okay. And don't be afraid to read some. And there's videos, and but do research.
Okay.
you can spend yourself time getting drunk and passing out, or doing other things, or you can research, and because we need to do something so our children have a better world than
yes. Well, I agree with that. Well, Kris Melligan, thank you for being with us this afternoon, and
Thank you, George.
We certainly thank you for all your hard work. Okay.
God bless.
God bless you.